So we're back at work here today. It's the first nice day in a long time. We had one, I think, back in February when it was kind of an abnormal day there. It was in the 60s, but there's Pico. Still some snow on the mountain. Killington's behind over there. You probably can't really see it. There you go. So we're back up here. Not bad for an office, huh? Up here on the staging, there's the roof all the way down. There's our staging, planks going down to that level of staging, the deck and the ground. So we're way up here, but it's a beautiful day, nice view, nice mountains here. And it's supposed to be crappy and rain tomorrow, but we'll take today. So here's the chimney, we're back at that. Coming through, I'm just gonna set this up and run some brick. So it's after 3 already in the afternoon. I had a bunch of stuff to do this morning, so got a late start on it. I just mixed up a half batch mud here. So I'll get a couple courses on and get what I can get done today. So I'm gonna set you guys down here and gals, in case there's a gal out there. Let's see if we can that should be a decent enough shot of the chimney here for you. These brick are Heritage SWBs. They're brand new brick, but they have all this stuff that's fired on from the factory to make some of them look old. Some of them are dark like this. Others are you know, pure red. Been finding a lot of lime dogs in them. See that hard nugget right in there? Just clay and Portland and stuff that from when it goes through, when they make the firing process there, it's clinker that didn't get ground up. Every once in a while you find them in there, but this is like the 6th one that I only got about 200 brick on here or something. So high percentage today. Any bad brick like that I'll save for cuts or bury them back in the wall there where the cricket's gonna go. We're gonna have a little cricket behind there where you don't see them. So, and I try and alternate my colors, not get too many whites or blacks next to each other. You gotta have, you know, you want the field to mostly be red, and then alternate. So see, I do have a white one and a black one next to each other there, which, I mean, it happens, but you basically want the majority of them to be red with a few colors interspersed. And every pallet of brick you get is different too. It's, you know, some of them will have more one color, more of another color, and a lot of times some of them that are hit just light. This stuff will just be on the surface, and you can. It's like kind of a whitish brick. You can hit it up like that, and it takes that stuff off the surface. And then you have a red brick. But I try and find halfway decent ones for your corners. I mean, no brick is really square. Either on this dimension on the corner isn't really square, and the face to the top or bottom of the brick isn't really square. And that's just manufacturing. These are wire cut, but it's the molded bricks are even worse. But so I try and find halfway decent ones. I lay mine. This has got a crown in it. I lay them with the crown down, so the bow is down. So your high point is on the corner, on the 2 ends, I should say, of the brick. That way when you put a level across, it hits the end and doesn't rock on the middle. And it's just a truer, you know, it's a truer reading, I guess, of what's really going on. But you can't get super fussy with it, because you have to be fussy enough to make it look nice, but not so fussy that you be here all day laying 5 brick. So I always put my corners on first and then run the middle, just like so. Like I said, we're running regular normal normal joint. So you want, I don't measure it anymore, but you want about 3/8 joint, because a brick's 2 1/4, so 3/8 makes it 2 5/8. That's coarse brick. That's why I was saying on the lead, you step back, because this is 12-12 pitch, 45, so you, on your lead you want to go back 2 5/8, give or take 2. I mean, nothing's, I don't lay anything out, I just go for it here, you know. So anyways, that's, I put one on that corner over here. And find the level. I can go back this way first, get them somewhat decent. That one's already high to this one. Not bad. Like I said, you can't go crazy with it. Just give her a quick check like so. I like to plumb the end up first this way rather than the side. I don't know why, I just do. And the other thing to do, just shut that off for a second. The other thing to do when you're plumbing these up is I leave just about a matchbook, or maybe the trowel width between the level and the brick. They always go hard on you. Sometimes from jointing and you move it around, but they always come hard. So if you lay that brick and plumb it so that it's hitting hard against your level and make it plumb, even though it's reading plumb, you get up 3, 4 courses, 5 courses and put the level back on the chimney, it's going to be hard there. It always go hard means it's coming out away from. Soft is going in. So hard would be if this was coming out this way or this way, and soft would be headed back in. But they always go hard on you. So don't lay them so they are butted tight against. I leave a gap, you know, maybe the trowel width, the matchbook, just enough. Because you can always bang them back out if you have to, if you get crazy with it. But so I try and, like I said, leave a says plumb. So my brickwork's plumb. So what I'll do is I'll just come back a little bit and just leave that. It's just barely a trowel width in there. Same thing here. You can just barely get the trowel in there, and that's plumb. So, like I said, they're nothing square and perfect. I'll get this brick on, but maybe I'll show you where we're at here. I do have a square here. I mean, you probably can't see, but so that's the face of the brick. It's not, see, it's hitting, not square. It's not square. If you go this way, it's not square there. So they're not, nothing's perfect. So that's the key to it, is just to kind of know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Know when to walk away, know when, this is always slow work, it's stick work, it's constantly putting the level on, putting the level on, putting the level on. You can't run a string here, so it's just all level work. They're pretty good. Trim, range them. Check this piece of lead over here. pretty good. Like I was saying, I bend these little tabs right in, like that. You can see that they're bent right into the core of the brick there. It kind of locks them in. Again, we'll take dark one, take a dark one, bury it in the back here. Make sure it's good. And I don't spread, when I'm spreading, it's hot out, you know, sun's cranking, brick are dry. I don't spread for more than probably 2 brick right here. I don't soak my brick. If you soaked them in gave them a little shot of water before you laid them, they would have a little more wiggle room, a little more time to work with them before they set up, but I don't do that. It's a pain in the neck to soak them, number one. Number two, pain in the neck, number one, to soak them. Number two, your hand's all wet and you're holding the brick and everything, and it'll eat the skin right off your hands faster than you think. So I keep everything like this, with that dry skin going here. So I only spread 2 brick or something. Then check them.
What's good these days? Who cares? Keep it classic. 94.5.
The other thing you gotta watch is chunks of stone in your sand pile. Got one in here somewhere. Gets in your mud right there. Gets in the mud, you get one of them under the brick, you'll be cursing. Be cursing anyways, but you're really cursing when you get one of those under the brick. Butter both ends of the brick on your last on your closure brick and your last one. Butter both ends of the brick that are in the chimney. That 2 3/8 joint that I was talking about, it's basically it's just a little over or under that, whatever it is. It's 3 courses of brick and 8 inches. So 8-inch block over there. Well, 7 5/8 block with the 3/8 joint is 8 inches. So you get 3 courses of brick and 8 inches. That keeps it looking kind of good.
Fluid void with money, and don't forget, it might be the weekend. We're giving you a few chances each Saturday and Sunday. Pay those bills with $1,000, so definitely worth sticking around for one day.
Now see that? I had this brick. I might have bumped it or something here, doing all the talking, but I had it plumb, and now it's a little hard. See? I don't know why it is, but they always go that way on you. we're jammed up against the block there, so we need a half brick over there. You take a brick and you give it a whack right in the middle, just like that. You get two halves. It doesn't always break pretty or nice, but you're just, you know, this is just all filler, and you lay it with the these broken core edges going back into the chimney. So I mean, obviously you wouldn't, you know, you don't want to lay it like this with the broken in the wall. I mean, you can, but you don't want to. I mean, you might as well just throw it in there like it would be the return, like that. As long as it's not too long where it's going to hit your filler blocks in the inside, or filler brick, or whatever you got going on the inside of the chimney. So I just trim them down like that a little bit, just enough so they don't jam up on anything. Standing right in the camera. Look at the camera.
Classic rock. Fix 106.
The other thing is make sure the bottom of your level is clean. Sometimes the little mortar pieces will get bonded on there or stuck to it, and you set it down on there, picks up a little piece, you set it on somewhere else to go level, and you're pounding the crap out of it and it's not going level, and then you look and your bricks are low and you got a lump of something stuck to your level. So keep your level all clean. I always use these Stabilas. Wood ones, I don't know. These ones are, I've dropped them off, you know, I've dropped them 35 feet off staging, picked them up and they're still good. So, I don't know, I never had that good of luck with wood levels. So I always use these Stabilas here. They're expensive, they're $100 a piece or better than that, but you buy the 3-pack or 2-pack, you can get them for a little better price, but I don't know, they're guaranteed for life too. So I did have one go out one time. I don't know why, it just, and they gave me a new one at the hardware store, or at the lumber yard. So they're worth it.
Pix 106 on iHeartRadio.
Okay, here comes a big pile of classic rock on Pix 106.
I can't use it anymore. Getting dark, too dark to see. Feels like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knocking on heaven's So when I joint these, I can't hold the camera, trowel, and the joint at the same time, so you have to bear with me here. I hate turning that down, but I'm gonna get a little mud on your trowel like this. Okay, you hold the trowel in there. I joint with my dominant hand, right hand. I'm right-handed. I hold the trowel. I work with trowel in my right hand, but when you joint, put the joiner in your right hand, trowel in your left. Get if you have a trowel, you have a lump of mud on it, right? So that's a high lump of mud on there. If you just shake the trowel like that, I'm doing this left-handed, so it's, you know, see how that flattens right out? I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not, but that flattened that right out. That whole thing of mud, look at that. Upside down, staying right on there. Right on there. So that way, when you're joining, you want to hold the trowel. You don't want to hold it level. I mean, if you're tuck pointing a whole wall or something, you can do that. But for this, what you want to do is kind of hold the trowel like this, keep it at an uphill angle, or, you know, pretty good angle with the tip of the trowel headed up. Take your joiner and just cut off a little roll, like that. See that? A little roll on the joiner. And in that, you're gonna, I don't know if you can see that little void there. Boom, hit that void. Any stuff that needs to be hit. So these are your head joints, these are your bed joints. Head, bed. Head vertical, bed horizontal. You can see a hole there where I missed a little mud. Get a roll on your trowel, just like so, right in there. And I try and leave it for a second, hot day like this, or even a not hot day. I leave the mud on there for a second or two, let it dry some of the moisture out of it. If you are just taking it right off here and it's all creamy and you're filling joints and trying to join it at the same time, you smear the mud everywhere, and it's still got a lot of water in it, and it's creamy, so it sticks to the joiner. And as you're doing your joint, it'll stick to the joiner and pick out of the joint away from the brick, and then you end up having to keep going back over it anyway. So you don't want to wait too long to join them. It's kind of hard to tell you when to hit a joint. You want it to be where you can still kind of stick your finger into it with it pretty easily, but you don't want it creamy. If it's rock hard and you waited too long, what ends up is you'll burn little pieces of metal off your you'll burnish basically your joiner into the joint, and it's just, you know, you have to do a lot of scraping and then trying to put a little mud back in, and so don't wait. You know, it's better to hit them early than too late. So anyway, you want to do your head joints first, bed joints. The other thing is when you're jointing your brick, keep your hand right on there and put some pressure. I mean, don't do a push-up off it, but keep some pressure on it, because when you're especially on the top course, when you're pushing this joiner, it's concave, and you know, it wants to basically act as a wedge and force itself in between the joint, in between the two bricks, and pop, you know, lift the top course brick off. So keep your hand on there, keep some pressure on it.
If you're working or you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, we salute you. Thanks for all you do, and hopefully get back to normal before long. Thanks for letting me hang out between your ears.
A lot of times, the other time, I'll take and turn the joiner a little sideways in the joint, like this. Cock it a little bit and run. Cock it and run, and it just does a better job of sealing the joint on the edges where it contacts the brick. Put your thumb right in that joiner, right in the turn of it. You get some pressure that way. You don't want too much pressure because, like I said, you'll blow the brick right off.
Care to patients, but right now hospitals are dramatically understaffed. Prime staffing has been given the award task of recruiting thousands of new nurses for intensive care units to supplement New York City's overburdened hospitals. If you are an ICU nurse who wants to heed the call, please reach out via Facebook at Prime Staffing NYC. Nurses can also email resumes directly to COVID-19 at primestaffingnyc.com. That's COVID-19 at primestaffingnyc.com. iHeartMedia knows small businesses across the country are facing new challenges during the COVID-19 pandemic. So to help, we've put together the iHeartRadio Small Business Crisis Resource, which has critical information, including links to federal and state resources providing businesses with stimulus loans, grants, and other financial aid. We also shine a spotlight on small businesses doing good right now. Visit iHeart.com/smallbusiness to learn more. That's iHeart.com/smallbusiness. Because your small business is big to us.
The fighting spirit of the Marine Corps is born of battles won. Battles won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's a promise made to you for more than 2 centuries. The promise of the Marines.
With Advance Auto Parts, you get the part you need from the comfort of your garage. Order online and get your part with same-day pickup, curbside, or same-day delivery. It's the fastest way to get the part you need. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts. With an Allstate agent, you get a local expert and help finding the best coverage for you. And because they live in your community, you can always count on them to be there when you need them most. Plus, when you bundle home and auto, you can save. So call your local Allstate agent today. Are you in good hands? Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Now more than ever, Americans are struggling to provide food for their families, and you can help. You can visit the All In Challenge. Now, it's allinchallenge.com, and bid on something. There are all kinds of amazing experiences from different people. Justin Timberlake, Tom Brady, Ellen DeGeneres. You have an experience to co-host this show, and some other things too. So if you want to check that out, it's allinchallenge.com.
WPYX Albany, available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. It's 106, an iHeart radio station. It's time for more music. Kicking off a long set of classics. Now, Mix 106.
To make sure where it hits the previous day's joint, it's hard on the head joints. I take my finger and just hit them up a little bit because sometimes you get a little pebble in the mud or something. I mix my mud the old-fashioned way. I get a truckload of sand and masonry cement in the bag, mix it up, mixer, all that. A lot of guys now are just going to the pre-mixed stuff. My feeling on the pre-mixed stuff is it's fine for inside work, but the sand is way too fine in it. It's powder basically. I don't know exactly why that is, but it's very sticky and creamy, and it's easy to work with and everything. But outside it just doesn't hold up the same as a good load of masonry sand that's to spec from state spec here in Vermont. I can't show you. I'll show you the sand pile later. But there's a lot of there's a lot of you know, aggregate in it. That's probably, you know, half the size of a BB or something, you know. So it's sharp, and that makes good sand and makes a good strong joint that lasts from the weather. I mean, you know, we get, you know, 40 below in the winter and you know, 90 in the summer. You know, obviously the summertime doesn't affect it, but the freezing thaw, getting wet and then getting below zero blows the crap out of joints, and they just hold up better to the weather. Wind-driven rain. Over the years, that pre-made stuff in the bag, it's handy and it's quick. It just doesn't hold up the same in my experience, anyways. And this is the way I've always done it. So, and it's expensive. It's $5-6 a bag, whatever it is, $7, I don't know, bucks a bag for 80 pounds. You know, I pay 30 bucks a ton for sand, and I don't even know, 10 bucks maybe for a bag of masonry cement type S. And I cut it, you know, I use 5 gallon pails of sand to a bag. And that makes some strong mud. If you're doing like pure stone outside, I'd probably cut it back to 4 pails per bag. But for just brickwork and stuff like this, it's about 5 pails per bag. So I gotta go get some red brick and move some stuff around. So I think we're done. I'm gonna shut this camera off, crank the radio, and stop talking and get working.